Here is a Hoover self-propelled ultra wind tunnel vacuum. We're going to be doing a belt replacement on this today and some cleaning. This is a vacuum that I'm pretty excited to get going because I remember this thing vividly. My grandparents used to have one, actually there are two, we'll get into that in a minute. It was very similar to this one. It wasn't identical. The one that they had, I believe it had a dirt sensor thing. It was like a red and green light somewhere. I think it was somewhere around this area. And then this one has one of these things for like cleaning a couch or something, or stairs. These never really work all that good, but it's got one of these, whereas I think the one that they had the different attachments in this compartment. Anyways, I picked this one up a long time ago. That's probably months and months ago. It's in pretty decent condition for something that was used. So anyways, I got new belts here. This is a little bit complicated because it's got two belts. One that drives the self-propelled transmission, and then one that drives the belt roll. The belt roll, what the heck is that? The brush roll. The brush roll seems to be in pretty good shape. It's just very dirty, so give it a good cleaning. So I remember using this vacuum at my grandparents' house many years ago. I remember using it one night in particular. We were cleaning a rug in the basement, or it's not really a basement, it's just in the lower level, and something was wrong. It wasn't working right, or like if you put the height adjustment low enough for it to actually clean properly, it was, I think it smelled bad or something. So it probably was just a belt issue. I remember that pretty vividly. And then at some point along the way, the locking apparatus to hold it upright broke. And so they bought a second one. And of course my grandfather kept the first one and bought the part to repair it. And I think to this day he never repaired it. But the second one, at some point, this is a couple years ago now, the cord frayed where the plug is, and my grandmother was very perturbed by that and reached the point where she refused to use the vacuum because of the cord. So my grandfather bought a new cord to put on there, and I guess he procrastinated with the installation of the cord, and so my grandmother took it upon herself to buy a whole new vacuum as opposed to just replacing the cord. And I happened to be over there this day when the vacuum came in. This stupid new one came in, and it was kind of funny because this huge box arrived. I said, what on earth is that? And she asked me to put this thing together, and I says, no, this is stupid. You know, give me the old vacuum, give me the cord, we'll just swap it out. It's real easy. And so that's what I did. And I'm pretty sure that she refuses to use the vacuum still to this day and uses that new one instead. Because at some point my grandfather offered me that vacuum, and I told him I would take it, but then he never brought it over. But anyways, so that's that. Never a dull moment, is it? So these have a slight design flaw with the brush rolls. This one is plastic. There's also a wood version. The wood version is the better one because the plastic one wears out, and then even with a good belt it won't grab. Now curiously, this is good still. So the problem must be, that doesn't seem all that bad either. Huh. I don't think there's anything wrong with the belts. It really felt like it was slipping to me, but that seems okay, and that seems okay. That's interesting. Well, let's clean it up, and then we'll give it a good test. And maybe I've been waiting to use it for no reason, and everything is just fine. But a lot of times what happens is these belts wear out. They just get... I mean, this is pretty flexible. We probably could fare to replace that, but this one really seems like it's gripping everything just fine. I don't want to replace that if it's not broken. Maybe we'll replace this one. Although actually, let's see, which way would it go? It would go this way. Yeah, it's not slipping. Huh. We'll check it. I'm probably going to order a replacement brush roll for this at some point. That is the wood variety. These are getting old. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to get the parts for these. These were pretty good vacuums. They were well respected from before Hoover turned into just junk. These are not as good as the Hoovers from years ago, but they're still pretty good. It claims on the front that it picks up more dirt than any other upright, but that's a very lofty claim, and I find it hard to believe because this is not a direct air vacuum, and it's pretty widely shown that when it comes to cleaning carpets, direct air is the best method. But we'll see. So for these brush rolls, I like to go across the whole thing and just cut all this stuff off, and then we'll go through with a vacuum, and we should be able to use the suction here to get a lot of it off. appears to be something stuck in there, some dust or whatever. Let's see if this piece easily lifts off. It does. Very confused by this belt situation. This belt still has plenty of tension on it. I don't know why it seemed like it wasn't working. We'll have to check it again and revisit. It really seems fine. Let's see, is the tensioner working? Which one is the... This is the brush roll. This should be off on... So now it should be... Yeah, it's not going to make contact, but is it really just... Does it really just spin like that? With little friction? Wow. Put it on. Yeah, that's working properly. And then that's working as well. It's changing the height that the wheels go down at. Alright, so it seems like it's all working. A little more cleanup down here with a small brush. Get some of the dust out. Looks pretty good to me. No point in going crazy with it because the first time you use it, it's going to get covered in dust again anyways. I don't see any evidence of the belt shredding, so unless it's... The only thing I can think of is it slipping on the shaft? Can't tell. It doesn't seem like... I don't think it's slipping anywhere. Well, we'll check it. If we have to change it, then we'll change it. I've got 3 of them on hand now. fairly easy to service. Some of the older ones didn't even require a screwdriver, but this one has some screws. Not bad though. These are just threading into plastic, so they don't go very tight at all. Alright, this should be good underneath. Let's see what we got on the other side. So we've got a filter here. This is the post motor filter. And this looks like it could use some cleaning. I know some of these, I believe you could put a HEPA filter in here. This is not. This is just like a carbon filter. And it looks pretty clean. I wonder if this machine is just really low hours. I think we should get a HEPA filter for this. I don't think this is the correct thing that's supposed to be in here, or maybe this is an option. I think this is like an odor filter maybe? I don't know. I think it didn't fit quite right. Maybe this isn't, maybe this is not supposed to, maybe this is not the right filter. I think it should fit a little better than this. We're definitely going to replace that. It's very, very full of like very fine dust. Don't like that. Okay. So we do have a new bag in here. I put in a new bag when I got it. I think it either didn't come with a bag or the bag that it came with was full or something. Something like that. Something that warranted a bag change. more of that fine dust in there. I don't know what the heck this was used to clean up. It's kind of weird. That was very dirty. I wonder if the bag was not installed properly at some point. Yeah, this is a new bag that I installed. Alright, I'd call that ready to go. Let's take it upstairs and see how it works. I have been warned by vacuum collectors that the cable apparatus for the self-propulsion mechanism is delicate and that you should never pick it up by that portion of the handle. So I am heeding that warning. I need the vacuum by the door in the living room. It's pretty dirty. I've been tracking in dirt from the outside all day. Let's see if this really picks up more dirt than any other upright. What a ridiculous claim. Now, this is very heavy. Very, very heavy. So this is a pretty low pile carpet. I would say that this should be set at or near the lowest setting for this type of carpet. But we're going to start all the way on high, turn the brush roll on, and let's see what it does. Self-propulsion is off, we're not going to use that. The suction is sticking it to the floor. Let's change those belts. It is slipping. It seemed like it was fine on the bench, but it's definitely slipping. Let's change the belts and see if it improves. Most likely the belts have never been replaced, so they probably are a little bit worn out. It has a very powerful suction, I'll give it that much. And the hose is wide. Probably moves a decent amount of air too. I'm not fully convinced that the belts are worn out. It might come to pass that the problem is within the brush roll. Because as I mentioned with the plastic, so we might have to end up replacing the brush roll even though the bristles aren't necessarily worn out, but let's see. Let's see. Let's start with the parts that we have on hand first. Once we can take the belts off and see how stretched out they are, that'll tell us what the problem is. In fact, this one is really behaving like I remembered the one that my grandparents behaving that night that I was trying to clean the carpet downstairs. I don't like the way this snaps off of there. So this pulley is kind of warm. So maybe it was slipping there. So it just rolls right off of there, and then it's a little tricky to kind of push it around the shaft and get it off the shaft here. It's actually a complete and total pain to get it on and off the motor shaft. It don't give you a lot of space to work with. Alright, so let's see how that compares to a new one. And of course we'll change both of them over in here. Doesn't make any sense to only do one. So in regards to our two belts here, so this is the old one, and it looks like the old one is actually a little bit smaller. It's the right numbers. This is a Goodyear belt. That's interesting. Who knows who's making these belts now. So it goes on this side of the tensioner, push the tensioner down, slide it over, and then I like to put it on around the brush roll first, and then you can use the brush roll to get some mechanical advantage to push it in here. See, this doesn't need a lot of tension because of the way this is designed. It narrows, it pulls it in. It's this one that needs a lot of tension to work. So here's the new one. Yep, there we go. See the difference? That belt's all stretched out. This should fix it. So now we got to get this back around the shaft there. I'm going to block the camera. It's just I can't see it myself if I don't block the camera. There's not a good method to this. You just have to kind of keep it like this as far back as you can to get it in between the end of the shaft and the housing, kind of like that. See how it is now? And then you push it back all the way and it will be on the shaft. That motor shaft is very warm, so I bet it was slipping on there. Okay, it's on the motor shaft now, and it's fairly easy to get it onto here. You just push it and roll it on. I would say that we probably should only turn it this way, because I don't know if this transmission is going to like going the wrong direction. I'll just try to push it on the bottom there. It's going to go the wrong way, 1 RPM or so in order to get this done, because it's tough. It's under a lot of tension. Oh wow, that's under a lot of tension now. Way more than it was before. I'm actually having a hard time getting this on. It's under so much tension. It almost feels like it's kind of slick. Probably got worn smooth when it was slipping, if that's where it was slipping. Okay, got it. Alright, well, let's see. how it works now. Hopefully it's not slipping anymore. Make sure that the belt is centered on the wheel here and straight all around. Looks good. Alright, that should be copacetic now. Stupid design here. This whole portion does nothing. Really only from here over that cleans it. So it looks like a nice wide head, but it's not a wide cleaning path. Because see, this is all blocked up on top. I suppose some airflow could get through here, but it's not going to be much. This also allows for stuff to get wrapped inside there. I prefer the Oric design where it's on the outside, away from the dirt. It does feel stiffer now. Alright, take two. New belts. Here we go. Hopefully it works properly this time. I think it should. Move it to medium. There we go. Very counterintuitive. It goes down, shut it off, but normally like you push it away to turn it on. But anyways, it's working now. And probably can see on the video, it really is pulling the carpet up pretty good. Do a couple passes here, and you should be able to see it. It's got good agitation, I can feel it vibrating the carpet. Alright, so it's back in service. It's working properly. You can see the brush roll picked up the carpet very well. This will work good. This will pick up a lot of dirt. Will it pick up more dirt than any other upright period? That I have my doubts. But I do think it'll work very well.